Hola, hoy vamos a tomar apuntes en los verbos con cambios de ortografía en el pretérito. Olé. Ok, entonces los verbos de cargar y zar son especiales en el pretérito. Verbs that end in car, gar, or zar, cargar or zar, are special in the preterit. They have a spelling change in the preterite in the yo form only in the first person singular form, and that's to maintain the sound of the final consonant of the stem, that C or G or Z. So if a verb ends in car, in just the yo form, when you conjugate that verb in the preterite, you change the C to a QU. So buscar, to look for, to look up, to search. You can see that spelling change right here. I looked for is busqué. And then the C's are in the other conjugations. That's because a CE makes the sound of an S, that the C makes the sound of an S before an E, but we need that K sound, and the way to get that is with a QU. So we've got busqué, buscaste, buscó, buscamos, buscastes, buscaron. Verbs that end in GAR or GAR, if you put a G before an E, it makes the same sound as a raspy H, that he. So if you want a ge sound, you need a silent U after your G. Pagar is to pay, and in the preterite, in the first person singular, there's a silent U after the G to make that a G sound. So it's pagué, pagaste, pagó, pagamos, pagastes, pagaron. And again, the U is silent. Pagué. All right. Verbs that end in ZAR have a Z changing to a C in the preterite in the yo form. That's just because ZEs don't really happen in Spanish. So empezar, to begin. Z changes to C. Now empezar is also a stem changing verb, and you can see that there is not a stem change in this verb in the preterite tense. Verbs ending in AR and ER that change in the stem in the present tense don't change in the preterite. We'll talk about the pattern for IR, stem changing verbs, on our next notes section. So we've got empecé, empezaste, empezó, empezamos, empezasteis, empezaron here. I started, you started, he or she started, etc. Or began or started. Okay, there are also verbs that have a stem vowel change. So in the preterite, IR and ER verbs with a stem that ends in a vowel, like leer, caer, creer, oír, change in the I to a Y in the third person forms, both singular and plural. It's probably easiest to just see an example verb and learn that pattern. Oh, and then also for these verbs, the I has a written accent or a tilde over it. That's to break a diphthong that would be created between the vowel at the end of the stem and that I in the ending. So we've got lei tilde so that our stress goes where we want it. And because there's a tilde on that ending anyway, leíste, we got to break that diphthong. Leyó, the I changes to a Y so that we don't have three vowels in a row. Leímos, tilde needed. Leísteis, we have that tilde on that I. Leyeron, I changes to Y. Okay, and then verbs that end in UIR also change the I to Y, but there's no written accent in the two nosotros and vosotros forms. So only if it has UIR as its ending. So contribuir is to contribute. Contribuí, tilde. Contribuiste, no tilde. Contribuyó, tilde on the O as normal. That I in the ending changes to a Y. Contribuimos, no tilde. Contribuisteis, no tilde. Contribuyeron, I changes to Y in our ending. Again, we're avoiding 3 vowels in a row with those Ys in the third person singular and plural. We don't need tildes because U and I are the 2 weak vowels, so they each get their own syllable anyway if they're next to one another and a diphthong is not formed. So the sound we get is contribuiste, contribuimos, contribuistes, but without a tilde needed. So again, that's all verbs that end in UIR in their stem. Gracias.